By the CBI today for the first time. Rhea's brother Shawik is also being interrogated by the CBI for the 6th time. Rhea, though, is not going to be interrogated by the CBI today. India Today has accessed the line of questioning for Rhea's parents, where they are both being asked about Rhea and Sushant's relationship and if they raised any objections when Sushant was spending money on Shawik and Rhea. Rhea has been grilled by the CBI for the past 4 days for over 35 hours. Yesterday, Rhea was questioned for a marathon 9 hours on Sushant's mental health and her role in Sushant's treatment. India Today has learnt that the CBI has been asking Rhea similar questions to find loopholes in her statements. The CBI, though, has continued questioning Sushant's flatmate Siddharth Pithani's cook, Neeraj and Keshav in the case. Neeraj is being grilled for the 12th straight day and Pithani has been grilled for 11 straight days. Munish Pandey live with us from Mumbai. Munish, take us through the CBI's latest round of interrogations. The parents of Rhea Chakraborty being questioned today.
Yeah, well, Shiv, the parents Rhea Chakraborty and Sandhya Chakraborty, they are being grilled by the Central Bureau of Investigation today. And what we have been given to understand is that this questioning is important in the backdrop of Rhea Chakraborty and Sushant Singh Rajput's relationship. Now, what CBI maintains that why they summoned, the first reason is because they are accused in the case, named accused in the case. And second, they want to know that whether they were aware of how the relationship between Sushant Singh Rajput and Rhea Chakraborty started, what was their fight about, and was there any instance when Rhea Chakraborty told her parents that she wants to break up with Sushant Singh Rajput. Also, they want to ask that why the official address of the company floated by Sushant Singh Rajput, Rhea Chakraborty and Sushant, has the same address as of the flat of Indrajit Chakraborty. Why did he give permission to Sushant Singh Rajput, Rhea Chakraborty and Shawik Chakraborty to have the same address, whether he was any intention of taking Sushant's money or not. So these are going to be some crucial questions by the CBI to Indrajit Chakraborty and Sandhya Chakraborty. But the most disturbing as a parents for Rhea are going to be the questions regarding the drug angle, because the CBI claims that they will be asking both Indrajit and Sandhya Chakraborty also about the drugs which Rhea Chakraborty was talking with many other people like Gaurav Arya, Shruti Modi, Jaya Saha and the housemate and the house staffers of Sushant Singh Rajput. Now this statement will be corroborated with the statement given by Rhea Chakraborty and Shawik Chakraborty, and apart from them also with the staffers of Sushant Singh Rajput. So what CBI claims that their main allegation is abetment of suicide. They cannot find a direct evidence in that regard, and that is why circumstantial evidence are important. And this is the reason why all these statements, maybe Rhea, Shawik, Indrajit, Sandhya Chakraborty, their statements are going to be very crucial because they are the named accused in the case. Shiv.
Stay with me, Munish. India Today also spoke to Sushant's manager, Shruti Modi's lawyer. Listen in.
On 25th, all the 3 sisters of Sushant were at Bombay. Somehow they were planning to shift Sushant forever from Bombay to Chandigarh. And accordingly, they have, I can say, they have taken over the Sushant in totality. Sushant was not permitted to meet anybody, including his own staff members. His sisters were inside the room in the resort where he was staying, and total control has been taken over by them. The tickets were booked for 27th, maybe by 12 noon flight for Chandigarh, for 3 sisters and Sushant. And all the staff was told that now Sushant is shifting forever to Chandigarh. So therefore their services may not be required, save and except 1 or 2 staff for the purpose of winding up. Cars are not required. Cars can be disposed of. Coupled with the fact they also directed the manager to hand over the charge in respect of all the accounting aspect of the things to them, which she declined because there was no order from Sushant to do so. Rhea was not permitted to meet Sushant. She was there for almost the day. Ultimately, in the night, Sushant realized through one of the employee that the sisters were planning outside the his room, that let Sushant accompany them once, then they will be in a position to control everything. And this message was received by Sushant, and therefore he cancelled all the programs. All the tickets were cancelled. The sisters got annoyed. They went back to the hotel. Sushant in the night left the resort and went to Rhea's house. And thereafter his condition was further deteriorating, and therefore he was shifted to the hospital.
India Today also spoke exclusively to Satish Manishinde, Rhea's lawyer, who spoke on the allegations made by Sushant's family of Rhea overdosing Sushant. The lawyers brushed aside all of these claims. Listen in.
And joining me now is Rhea Chakraborty's lawyer Satish Manishinde, speaking on TV for the first time. Mr. Manishinde, what are you and your client trying to prove by claiming that Sushant's family knew of his depression? The fact is that the question that the family is raising, they claim that Rhea was giving Sushant the wrong drugs, that she was giving him the wrong medicines, and that was responsible in a way for Sushant's eventual deterioration in his health condition. What are you and your client then trying to prove now?
Well, I don't have to prove anything. The fact is that the family of Sushant made an allegation before the court, before the CBI, before the Patna police and various other investigating agencies, that it was Rhea who was administering the medicines, number one. Number two, she was giving an overdose and she was manipulating his health. As a matter of fact, it is revealed that Rhea had taken him to doctors of his choice and all reputed doctors of the city of Mumbai. There were 5 doctors who were advising him from time to time. The first doctor he went to was in 2013, and the last doctor whom he was consulting was in 2020, even on the date when Rhea left the house. Therefore, there was nothing which Rhea did without the advice and prescription of the doctors concerned. Now it is revealed that on the 29th of November, Sushant's sister had taken messages from Shruti, including the doctor's telephone number. She knew what the medication was being administered, and therefore they were aware of it as far back as November 2019.
Goa-based hotelier Gaurav Arya is being interrogated by the Enforcement Directorate for the second consecutive day in connection with the alleged Rhea drug link. He was accompanied by his lawyer Manu Sharma to the Enforcement Directorate office. Gaurav Arya was questioned for 9 hours yesterday. He has denied all allegations leveled against him of selling or peddling any kind of drugs to Rhea Chakraborty. He claims that in 2017, Rhea spoke to him casually about drugs, but he didn't entertain her. India Today has learnt that Enforcement Directorate was not satisfied with his answers. Probing the drug link, the Enforcement Directorate has also grilled Bandra-based restaurant director Kunal Jani yesterday. Jani was part of a WhatsApp group in which Rhea and Sushant's ex-manager Samuel Miranda were talking about quote-unquote doobies and hashish. Kunal Jani is known for his deep links in the Bollywood industry. During his questioning yesterday, Kunal denied all allegations of supplying or being involved in any kind of drug supply to Rhea Chakraborty. He could be called again for further questioning, though.
What do you want to say for your clients, sir? Sir, कुछ तो बताइए सर, क्या सर उन पर जो आरोप लग रहे हैं सर, उस पर क्या कहना आपके क्लाइंट है? They are all false. Therefore, sir, लेकिन क्या जो चार्ट आए थे सर, जो चार्ट आए थे सर, any comments regarding सर आपके जो चार्ट आए थे? He's giving a statement.
Divyesh Singh live with me from outside the Enforcement Directorate office for more. Divyesh, the drug angle being looked at very closely. Gaurav Arya, Kunal Jani, others have been interrogated. What is the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI come up with so far?
Yes, Chef, this is the second consecutive day that Gaurav Arya, a Goa-based hotelier, is being interrogated, being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate officials who were looking into the Rhea Chakraborty case. Remember, it was the Enforcement Directorate that found chats of Rhea Chakraborty talking about banned narcotic substances. She was discussing it with various other people as well, and also with Gaurav Arya, which is a 2017 chat based on which the Enforcement Directorate summoned Gaurav Arya and recorded his statement yesterday. But they were not satisfied with his answers. He was evading a lot of questions, and that is why he has been summoned again today for questioning for the second day. He has been accompanied by his lawyer Manu Sharma. Manu Sharma, speaking to us, told us that all the allegations that have been leveled against Arya are baseless and they would issue a statement very soon. Meanwhile, Kunal Jani, who's a director in a hotel, Bandra-based hotel, with Raj Kundra and Ranjit Singh Bindra, he was also summoned yesterday. In fact, he was brought in by ED officials to the office and then questioned for 6 hours. He's also refused all the allegations of supplying or peddling any kind of drugs to Rhea Chakraborty. Meanwhile, sources have told us that he would be summoned again, and a few more people associated with Kunal Jani and Gaurav Arya could be called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate.
Okay, Divyesh, thank you very much for that. In a new twist to the Sushant Singh case, India Today has also learned that Sushant was communicating with his sister Priyanka on the morning of the 8th of June when Rhea was still there. In fact, Sushant's sister Priyanka told him to have anti-anxiety pills. Here's more in this report.
Explosive revelations that will be the biggest twist in the SSR death probe. What happened on the morning of 8th June? That lays bare that Sushant's sisters had full knowledge of his mental illness. Not only did they know, but one of his sisters, Priyanka, helped him get prescription drugs illegally. June 8th, time 10 a.m. Rhea Chakraborty still had not left Sushant's residence. India Today has accessed a conversation between Sushant and his sister Priyanka on a messenger chat. Sushant was communicating with his sister Priyanka, where Priyanka tells him to have 3 separate medications. The communication that happened on a messenger app where Priyanka asks Sushant to start with Librium capsule for a week, then start Nexito 10 mg once every day after breakfast. Priyanka in the message also asks him to keep Lonazep tablets for SOS so that he could use it in case of an anxiety attack. Sushant tells Priyanka that he would need a prescription to buy these medicines, which then Priyanka arranges, saying that he doesn't need to worry, it's confidential. The message raises doubts on how Sushant was being given prescription medication, even consulting a doctor himself. Priyanka also tells Sushant that her friend was a renowned doctor. Connect with other good doctors in Mumbai. Priyanka then shared a prescription and informed Sushant about it, to which he says, "Thank you, Sonadi." This was the prescription that was sent to Sushant on the chat by Priyanka, a reputed psychiatrist in Delhi working at the well-known RML, Ram Hospital of Delhi. The date on it is 8th June. The prescription was written in while Sushant was in Mumbai without any consultation. This is illegal. Nexito, a type of antidepressant used to treat depression, used to treat anxiety and panic orders. Librium, hypnotic medicine, used to treat anxiety, insomnia. Also used for treating acute alcohol withdrawal. Lonazep, MD, prescriptive medicine used to treat panic attacks and anxiety. Decreases excessive activity of helps calm the brain. So far, the family of Sushant Rajput have said they don't know about any mental illness of. Repeatedly, the family has released videos of him looking happy, Sushant spending time with family, reiterating that he was not suffering from any mental disorder. As per Rhea's lawyer, this chat will turn the narrative on this case and show who is lying.
His sister was sharing her and her medicine with her brother. She had also asked to send the medication and the prescription and the doctor's name to her. So she obviously knew that her brother was under certain treatment. These false allegations have been made before the Bihar police, before the ED, and on the basis of these false submissions, bogus ground made that they did not know as to what ailment he was suffering and what treatment he was receiving.
The CBI investigation is still on. However, these chats raise uncomfortable questions for those who have believed a single narrative till now. Family members have maintained that they didn't know of his chat, says otherwise. This chat raises questions and in fact brings to light that they very well knew of his. The family has said Rhea gave him medication, but here it is Priyanka who's him to take medication. Priyanka was in touch with Sushant on June 8th, post 12 noon. Was speaking to Sushant since 10 a.m. How did Priyanka procure prescription drugs illegally for Sushant, even consulted the doctor himself? These questions will be disconcerting for a bereaved that till now has denied reports of mental illness, with investigating authorities and his former girlfriend refusing to believe that he could be depressed.
I'm not depressed. That's my thing, what I'm saying. And if somebody's saying that's suicide, the reason behind it.
His colleagues, who never met him, but said he wasn't depressed. As new angles emerge, ultimately this case will be trialed by all agencies involved to let the truth prevail. Bureau, India Today.